All right, guys, I have a video from the DWD series. I haven't created a video, a Date with Destiny video in a while, and I think this is the last one I have on my list. I got to recheck my list, but I think this is the last one, and I want you guys to, especially those who are, anytime you're like depressed or you have anxious feelings or you feel like you're not in control of your emotions, this video is going to be really, really good for you. Okay, so I'm going to get right into it. The question I have up on this board, again, I don't know if you guys can read it. Are your rules controlling your life? All right, you guys might have a couple of questions there. What do you mean rules, first of all? Like, what is that? What rules, right? Some of us don't realize that we have rules, and we get to discover this at Date with Destiny. So I'll give you one example here. So I have 5 words written down here. We'll go through them one by one. So the first word is happy, okay? Happy. I want you to think for yourself now, while you're watching this video, you, the person watching this video, not me. In order for you to feel happy, what has to happen in your life? You know, just think about that for a minute. And if you want, write it down. It's even better if you write it down. What has to happen for you to be happy? A lot of people have some very specific things written down here, right? Like, let's say, for example, for you to be happy, maybe you need to make, X amount of money, and your family has to do this, and then like your cousins have to treat you this way, and everyone has to treat you this way, and then you have to, I don't know, like your rules can be anything. It could be anything. Like, how do you feel happiness? Like, what exactly has to happen? And then you kind of debunk it, and you're just like, wait a second, why am I putting these restrictions on myself to be happy? You're like, okay, I'll feel happy if this, and this happens, okay? And then you realize that that's a big mistake, because your natural default should be happiness. You should be happy at your default, okay? So this entire seminar, and it's funny because I act like I'm selling the seminar. It's funny because like I should probably get a commission for Date with Destiny, but I'm not. I'm just telling you exactly what I went through and what I feel about it. It's about like a good way of describing it is like your brain is a computer, okay, and it needs to be constantly updated. But some of us are running on a computer from 1995. Okay, and we've never really upgraded our software inside our minds. So in order for you to be happy, a lot of people, like I know you guys are probably thinking, yeah, this and this needs to happen. For me, in order for me to be happy, my rules are simple. As long as I'm alive and I'm healthy, I'm gonna be happy. Okay, there's gonna be things that can tilt it. Like some certain things can happen. Let's say you have a big financial loss. Let's say you lost a girl or a guy or whatever it may be. That's going to affect it for a short while. But my natural default always comes back to happiness and gratitude, because I don't have any rules for them. Like, it's not like I'm going to be happy only if this certain thing happens, or only if this, and this, and all the stars align, and then that's when I'm going to feel happiness. I'm going to feel happiness anytime throughout the day, just by realizing that I'm healthy. I'm a healthy being, and that's it. That's literally it. So if you have rules for yourself for feeling happiness, I encourage you to throw those rules into the garbage and realize that they're just external things. Happiness is an internal process. Like, there are people in this world that have billions of dollars and have everything they can ever want in life, and they're not happy. It's funny, I was watching an interview with Jesse Itzler, and he was like, just imagine this, okay? For the guys watching. You're in some Caribbean island in a mansion, right? A huge house on the beach in a jacuzzi. You've got like 9 girls inside of a jacuzzi with you. They're feeding you grapes, and it's a wonderful time, right? But you have a sore throat and your nose is running. Are you gonna be happy then? That's a weird kind of scenario to think about. You're like, wait, those are all good things, but then like all you're thinking about is, how do I fix my throat? Every time you swallow, it hurts. and your nose is running, you need tissues everywhere, right? And that goes back to your health as your wealth. It's a little bit off topic, but it just came to mind there. That your health and the fact that you're alive, healthy, and breathing is your happiness. Everything else is just a bonus. Everything else is just a bonus, okay? But a lot of times we get spoiled. We want more. And there's nothing wrong with wanting more, because I want more too. But I'm not trying to anymore. Not anymore. I used to. Not anymore. I'm not trying to achieve these external things for happiness. I'm already happy as is. Okay? I'm already happy as is. I'm just going for the cherry with external things. And external things should be just a cherry. They should only be a cherry. Your happiness should be coming from within. And this is something I never understood as I was growing up. I just didn't even believe it. I understood. I know people talked about it. I just didn't believe it until I actually, started accumulating some external things and some financial success. And I realized, I was like, I guess they were right. This is not the answer. Like, I don't feel any better. I didn't feel any better. Like there was times where I felt better. Like there were like certain milestones I hit. I felt better for a little while, but then I came back to my default. My default was just feeling anxious for the most part, to be honest. Like that was my default emotion. It was anxiety. And I realized, I was like, you know what? Money's not going to fix this. Or any external things are not going to fix this. This is something you got to go internal and make an internal shift. So now your question might be, how do I do that? I'll tell you how I did it. And the only way I know how to do it is you have to work on your mindset, your brain. That's the most important thing by far. To shift your mindset. And while you're shifting your mindset, you're also shifting your perception on life and everything. Okay? And how do you do that? How do you build your mindset and how do you shift your perception? It's through reading a lot of self-development books, meditating, going to seminars like this one here, Date with Destiny, or it could be a different seminar, going to seminars, doing anything to get more knowledge into your brain and to better understand this world and psychology and your brain and how everything works, your emotions, to study emotions, read books about emotions. And when I say meditate, some people are like, what does meditation have anything to do with anything? Meditation is one of the most important things, okay? Because when you're meditating, you're not in your mind, okay? All your pain comes from when you go up in your mind and you replay thoughts in your head and you have this narrative about like, these anxious thoughts just consume your entire life. And meditation is about being present. And for those of you who have read The Power of Now, it's kind of a complicated read. But it states in that book that if you're present to the moment and you're not in your head, if you're literally present to the moment, then negative feelings, it's not even possible. It's literally impossible to have negative feelings when you're in the present moment and you're not thinking about something. You create those negative feelings when you go inside your head and you start thinking and that narrator in there. I'm going to do a review of The Untethered Soul, which is another book that gets really deep into this topic. And it talks about that voice in your head. That voice is always there. It's always talking. It's always on the go. And if you pay attention to it, you can hear it. And it's about understanding that separation, that's not you. That voice in your head is not you, okay? It's not you. It's just programmed inside of you. What that voice in your head tells you is not true. Sometimes it's full of shit. But I'm going to say that's a whole nother topic I'm going to do another video on. And it's going to be the Untethered Soul video about that book specifically. And we're going to go deep into that topic. So I'm really excited to talk about the topic. But it'll take like a long time to talk about it. So I'm going to skip through that in this video. But meditation, reading, seminars. Those three things. You want to work on your mindset and shifting your perspective towards life. Because shifting your perspective towards life is the best thing you can ever do for yourself, ever. Internal perspective, that is, okay? So two people can be going through the same exact circumstances, same exact problems, same exact challenges, same exact situation in life. And one person can be really, really happy, and the other person can be very sad and depressed. That's how powerful perception is. It's the most powerful force there is for happiness, in my opinion, by far, not even close. Second one, is grateful. So what do you have to, what has to happen in your life for you to feel grateful? I'm going to go quicker through these ones here. So what has to happen in your life for you to feel grateful? Okay, think about that for a second. You might be like, oh, I'll feel grateful if I can buy that house that I want. I'll feel grateful if if I have the spouse of my dreams, the woman of my dreams, the guy of my dreams, whatever it may be. I'll feel grateful if everything's going well in my life and everything's on point and there's nothing that's bad happening or whatever. You can have all these rules. You can write down those rules. You can pause the video and write your rules in this video just to understand yourself a little bit better. See, in the seminar, we spent like 10 hours on this. We go deep as humanly possible to think, like, what is it? And you write it down and you're working with people and you're writing down all your rules and all these things. And again, this is another rule that I changed at the seminar. For me to feel grateful, again, it's as simple as I'll feel grateful anytime I wake up in the morning and am breathing, okay? Anytime I'm healthy, I'm grateful, okay? Anytime I'm walking outside, I'm grateful. Like, make it easy for you to feel these emotions. This is the main point. Because a lot of us, we get tangled up and we make it so difficult to feel happy and grateful. We make it so hard on ourselves. Like, when am I gonna feel happy and grateful? All these things have to line up. All the stars have to align. Every single thing I want in my life has to happen in order, blah, 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 blah. And then I'll feel these emotions. We make it so hard to just feel good emotions in our life. And this is a major problem. Next one, confidence. What rules do you have for you to feel confident? Oh, people have to respond to me in this way, or I have to achieve this, and that again. Again, external things, some things that are completely out of your control. For me to feel confident, I would say all I need to do is do something that I don't feel like doing. Step out of my comfort zone a little bit, I feel confident, Make a YouTube video, I feel confident. Anything. Make it easy for yourself to feel these wonderful emotions, okay? Like, I can feel these emotions anytime I want to, and I don't have any hoops or, little roller coaster ride that I have to make it through to feel these kind of emotions. All right, next one is love. How do you, what makes you feel love? You might say, oh, if my parents tell me they love me, or if my friends act a certain way, if they respect me, or if my spouse, my girlfriend, my wife says to me, I love you and I need you, and expresses it in words, or gives me a hug and reassures me and like stuff like that. That could be maybe some of your answers, possibly. But the point is, I'm going to get to a very certain point that is going to be the truth in all this at the end here, which is going to make everything just come together in a beautiful way, and you're going to understand what the point of this is. So all those things I just said about love and everything else, those examples I gave you that you might have in your mind about how you feel happy, grateful, confident, love, they have to do with other people. They're dependent on other people or outside factors, okay? What I said, the optimal ways of happy, grateful, you're not dependent on anybody. It's just you feel it no matter what. Anybody can say anything, you feel it. Love, again. I feel love whenever I focus on gratitude, okay? I feel love whenever I decide and I see that I love myself. Whenever I look in the mirror, I feel love. Because you need to love yourself so much that any external love from anybody else is just a bonus, okay? It's just a bonus, just like everything else. Everything else I named, all these are good things. Every single example I gave, like about rules that you may have or I used to have and things like that, these are all great things, but they're all just a bonus. You should feel these emotions without any other human's help, okay? Without any other achievement or external materialistic thing. You should be able to feel these emotions in your body without anything else but yourself. That's the most important thing. So it's in you. Like, you're not, this way you never come off needy or anything like that too. You never need anybody else's love. You don't need anybody else's love because you love yourself so much that anything else is just like a happy bonus. It's just a cherry, right? Because you have so much love for yourself. That's where you want to be. And that's where you can be if you really pull out these, all these rules that you wired into your brain and just get rid of them, pull them out and replace them with a very simple, easy rules so you can feel these emotions every single day, okay? Abundance. This is a cool one. What does it take for you to feel abundant? What are your rules? Again, pause the video if you have to. Just think about it. Take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 15 minutes. Write it down. What has to happen in my life for me to feel abundance? You might say, oh, maybe I can have like 5 girlfriends. That'll make me feel abundant. Or I can have $10 million. That's abundance, right? Or I can multiple houses. I don't know. Endless supply of whatever it is. All these are external things, right? But in order to feel abundance, why not like whenever you have an abundance of energy, when you're just like, you get up and like, you're energized. Now I feel abundant. Or whenever, again, when you focus on gratitude, I already feel abundant. I don't need anything else to happen for me to feel that way. And I feel abundance when I'm making a YouTube video. I feel abundant when I'm talking. You know, I can feel all these emotions now almost on command. Like anytime I decide to focus on these things, I just feel them because I make it so easy. I make it so easy to feel these emotions. And that's the key. You want to make it easy and you want to make it something that's not dependent on other people or material things or any external circumstances. It's something that you can feed yourself. You can feed yourself these emotions anytime you want. And once you realize that you have that power to do that, okay, this is a short video. It's not even 20 minutes. I'm recapping what we went over for like, you know, let's say, I don't remember how long we took on this, maybe like 8 to 10 hours in the seminar. It's a lot to recap in 20 minutes, but when you go through this and you pause it and you realize all these rules you set for yourself. There was a guy actually, great story actually I have for you guys, for those of you who stick around this long. There was a guy, so there was like 5,000 people at the seminar, and Tony's like, you know, on average, if there's 5,000 people at a seminar, there's about like, I forgot the number he said, there's about like 40 to 50 people that are suicidal. And he said, if you're suicidal, raise your hand, you know, and some people obviously that are suicidal, not everyone's gonna raise their hand. About 25 people raised their hands. And he took one guy up to the stage and he talked about his rules. And he's like, to feel happy or gratitude or to feel abundant or love or whatever, he talked about his rules. And then he realized that he was making it impossible for himself to feel these emotions, you know? Like it was like, for me to feel happy, I have to make sure my mom is doing this, and I have to make sure my son is this way, and I need to make sure that this and that is happening, and I need to make sure that blah, blah. He had like 13 different rules for every single emotion that he felt. He's like, all these things have to fall into place for me to feel this way. And then Tony Robbins is like, well, of course you're miserable. You're never gonna feel these emotions when you make it that hard to feel them. It's impossible. You can't. Like, how can you get all that in order? Like, it's just, you're making things difficult for yourself. You're making it harder than it needs to be. Like, you're making it so hard to feel these emotions. And of course you're miserable. Of course you're depressed. You know, you're making it hard. So this video, I'm just telling you, make it easy. Make it easy on yourself. You know, make it easy on yourself. Drop all the external bullshit, and you can still strive towards the external bullshit. I strive towards the external stuff. You know, I strive for everything as well, but I'm striving from a place of happiness, not a place of lack, not a place of sadness. And if I get these things, then I'll be happy kind of thing. I'm happy already as is, but I'm going for more as well. So that's exactly where you want to come from. That's the abundance you want to hit. And yeah, I'm happy to hear anybody's thoughts on this video. Test this out on yourself. Like, go back, if you're here and you didn't do it, go back, pause, and just write your rules. Like, be honest with yourself. Like, for me to feel happy, like, these are the things that have to line up in my life, and these are the things that have to not happen, you know? Because there's the things that have to not happen. As long as, you know, this doesn't happen, and that doesn't happen, and this happens, and then that happens, and this doesn't happen, then you feel these emotions. So yeah, and that's it for this video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if this video helped you. Like if you had a lot of bullshit rules and like you made it hard for yourself to feel these emotions, and now you're just like, you know what? I don't have to make it so hard. I can actually go inside my brain right now and then tell my brain, I'm gonna be happy just because. You know, there's an excellent quote for one of my favorite books. I forgot the name of the book off the top of my head, but the quote is, "A fool is happy." Listen to this closely. This is an excellent quote, and it's very deep. "A fool is happy when his cravings are satisfied. A warrior," and now I remember the name of the book. "A warrior is happy without reason." Okay, so listen to this again. A fool is happy when his cravings are satisfied. A warrior is happy without reason. And then he goes on to say, that's what makes happiness the ultimate discipline. Okay, and it's an excellent book. The name of the book is actually The Peaceful Warrior. Really, really good book. Highly recommend a read on that one. I'm gonna start doing a little bit more book reviews and stuff on here too, like some of my favorite books. I'll bring out the top 4 or 5 points and I'm gonna talk about them. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, hit that like button if you like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.